Hello, welcome to the weekly highlights program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the week. I'm your host, İlham Məmmədov. Now first, let's take a brief look at some of the top stories of this week. President İlham received in a video format Vüqar Süleymanov due to his appointment as the chairman of the board of the Agency for Mine Action of the Republic of Azerbaijan. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan İlham received in a video format a delegation led by chairman of the Italian Mayor Technimont Group, Fabrizio Giamato. On February 4th, President İlham received in a video format Vüqar Süleymanov due to his appointment as chairman of the board of the Agency for Mine Action of the Republic of Azerbaijan.
President İlham noted that the demining of the liberated lands is a priority task, and this work should be carried out in such a way that it doesn't allow accidents to occur after their completion. Regrettably, speaking about the accidents that took place in the liberated territories after the war and in recent days, the head of state appealed to the citizens of Azerbaijan not to visit the liberated lands without permission. This accident once again shows that after the occupation, the malicious enemy not only destroyed all our buildings, all our historical monuments, but also mined everything everywhere. Not only territories close to the contact line have been mined, but also cities, roads, important strategic heights, and we do not have maps of the minefields, said President İlham, stressing that this is why our demining experts are entrusted with a great task. Without the mining work on the liberated lands, there can be no talk of any development. Noting that the agency faces great tasks, the head of state touched upon the issues of proper organization of activities, attracting professional personnel, purchasing modern equipment, and gave instructions to carry out this work quickly and efficiently. President İlham said that after the demining work, the damage cost should be assessed and restoration work carried out, noting that in addition to mines, there are quite a few unexploded ordnances in the liberated territories. The head of state touched on the importance of conducting training courses for the employees of the agency, attracting experienced international specialists in this area, organizing short-term courses abroad, and added that in this process of clearing mines, satellite imagery can also be used effectively. President İlham noted the possibility of creating private companies in the field of mine clearance and their involvement in this work, emphasizing that the enemy destroyed everything on the lands, and it had occurred for many years, and even burned down the houses in which they lived until the last day. The head of state said that our entire infrastructure had been destroyed. We need to develop national standards for mine clearance operations. That is, this should be Azerbaijani standards, and of course, international practice should be taken into account, President İlham said, and touched upon the importance of close cooperation between the agency and the Ministry of Defense. Vüqar Süleymanov, chairman of the board of the Agency for Mine Action, expressed gratitude to the head of state for the high confidence shown, assured that he would mobilize all the capabilities to justify this trust and achieve the goals set.
On February 1st, President İlham and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva attended the opening of a number of social facilities in Abşeron district and inaugurated Forest Type Park established in Yasamal district of the capital.
President İlham and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva arrived in Abşeron district. The head of state and the First Lady visited the monument to the great leader Heydar Aliyev in the city of Kırdalan. President İlham Aliyev took part in the opening of the reconstructed 220, 110, 10 and 110, 35, 10 kilovolts new Kırdalan substations. The 220, 110, 10 kilovolts Kırdalan substation has been completely reconstructed since its service life has ended and it no longer met the growing demand. This substation, which provides electricity for 60% of the ring electricity supply of Baku city, has been connected to 108 km power line from the Jano power plant in the city of Shirvan. This will not only reduce the dependence on generation sources in the city of Mingechevir, but it will also play an irreplaceable role in the reliable and sustainable supply of energy to the capital. Then President İlham Əliyev launched a new 110-35 10 kV Xırdalan substation through the SCADA remote dispatch system. This station is of a great importance in preventing accidents, providing subscribers with high quality and uninterrupted electricity. President İlham Əliyev was also informed about the completion of the first stage of the new SCADA project. In the new administrative building of the substation, a backup dispatch control center of the SCADA system was created in full. President İlham Əliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva familiarized themselves with the conditions created at the Lyceum School No. 3 in the city of Xırdalan of Abşeron district. According to the executive order of the head of state signed in January 2019, the building of this educational institution for 1,176 pupils was overhauled, and an additional building with 12,000 seat capacity was built. The new building houses modern classrooms, computer science, military training, preschool training rooms, and all of them are provided with the necessary teaching aids. There is also a STEAM office, a venue for teaching science, technology, engineering, art and mathematics, laboratories, an assembly hall, and an outdoor sports ground. President İlham Əliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva also attended the opening of the new building of the Abşeron Regional Central Hospital. The medical institution, built in accordance with the relevant executive order of the head of state, is equipped with the most necessary equipment. The hospital with 150 beds has equipment from the world's leading companies. The departments of surgery, therapy, pediatrics, intensive care, dialysis and others, as well as laboratories which function there. It's envisaged that the Central Hospital, the Abşeron District Polyclinic, the Abşeron District Children's Polyclinic and the Emergency Medical Aid Department located at the Abşeron District Central Hospital will be moved to this building. After familiarizing himself with the conditions created in the hospital, President İlham Əliyev gave an interview to Azərbaycan TV. Then President İlham Əliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva took part in the opening of a new forest park in Yasamal district of the capital. The total area of the park established by the instruction of the head of state is 4 hectares. At one time, this territory was seized by some people who intended to sell it. It was after the intervention of President İlham Əliyev that this process was stopped and these lands were returned to the state fund. Greeneries in the new park cover more than 70% of the territory.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Əliyev, received Deputy Chair of Turkish Nationalist Movement Party, MP from Ankara, Mevlut Karakaya. Deputy Chair of the Nationalist Movement Party, Mevlut Karakaya, extended the MHP Chair Devlet Bahçeli's greetings to President İlham Əliyev. He congratulated President İlham Əliyev on the victory in the patriotic war under the leadership of the head of state. President İlham Əliyev thanked for the greetings of Devlet Bahçeli and asked the Deputy Chair to convey his greetings to the MHP Chair. The head of state recalled Turkish political, moral and diplomatic support to Azerbaijan during the patriotic war, saying that Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's statements during the war were great support to Azerbaijan. President İlham Əliyev added that the statements of Devlet Bahçeli, chairman of the Nationalist Movement Party, an ally of Turkey's ruling Justice and Development Party, were also of political and moral significance. Deputy Chair of the Nationalist Movement Party, Mevlut Karakaya, informed the head of state about the initiative to construct a school of culture and art in the liberated lands of Azerbaijan. He pointed out his meeting with the Azerbaijani Minister of Education and other officials in this regard. President İlham Əliyev thanked the MHP Deputy Chair for this initiative, saying that the initiative would be taken into account as part of the restoration and urbanization work on the liberated lands. Emphasizing that master plans of cities in the liberated territories have been developed, the head of state said that he would give relevant instructions to choose a suitable place for the school building. The sides exchanged views on prospects for successful development of brotherly and friendly relations between Azerbaijan and Turkey. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Əliyev, received in a video format a delegation led by chairman of the Italian Mayor Tecnimont Group, Fabrizio Diamato.
Chairman of the Mayor Tecnimont Group, Fabrizio Diamato, expressed his satisfaction with his stay in Azerbaijan and extended his congratulations on the occasion of the victory in the patriotic war, noted that during the war all the Italians followed these developments. Recalling that they have been operating in our country for over 7 years, Fabrizio Diamato stressed that they are contributing to the industrialization of Azerbaijan, expressed a desire to expand the ties of his company with our country. saying that today a team of almost 200 people is operating in Azerbaijan and 72% of employees are Azerbaijanis. The Italian guest also spoke about the interaction with students of local universities and youth. We consider Azerbaijan as our home country, he said, and stressed that in the supply chain, the greatest preference is given to cooperation with Azerbaijani companies. President İlham Aliyev sang for the congratulations on the victory, stressed that from now on the development of Azerbaijan will take place at an even faster pace. All necessary measures will be taken to restore life in the liberated territories, and added it will not be easy, because everything has been destroyed in these territories. We will have to start from zero. Therefore, of course, we will need good partners in this area, he said, and noted close cooperation with Mayor Teknomont, while further touching upon their successful activity in our country. Noting that despite the pandemic and economic decline in Azerbaijan of 4.3% last year, our non-energy industry grew by 12.5%, President İlham Aliyev says this is a clear manifestation of the industrialization program, and added that the Mayor Teknomont was involved in projects worth more than 1,600 million euros in Azerbaijan. President İlham Aliyev highly appreciated the fact that most of the company's employees are Azerbaijanis, and said that this demonstrates the company's commitment to our country and its long-term strategy in Azerbaijan. President İlham Aliyev noted the solidarity of the Italian people with Azerbaijani people during the patriotic war and the objective approach of the Italian media to this issue. We saw that we turned the issue assigned by us into reality, because Italy and Azerbaijan are strategic partners, the head of state said, expressing hope that the Italian companies would be very active in projects related to the restoration of our territories, and said that several Italian companies had already been invited to carry out construction and restoration works. President İlham Aliyev also stressed that work is underway to establish an Italy-Azerbaijan university in Baku. General Executive Director of Mayor Teknomont Group, Roberto Folgiero, underlined cooperation with Sokar in the field of chemistry, and further added that the University of Turin would be involved in this interaction. Speaking about the intention to develop the field of green chemistry, he expressed his great interest in expanding cooperation in the field of energy production. He stressed that their approach is long-term and, most importantly, relies on human capital, and it envisages to involve youth in the work. Roberto Folgiero also noted the successful participation of a young Azerbaijani employed by Mayor Teknomont at one of the world's wide regional meetings organized by the company. President İlham Aliyev called the participation of the University of Turin in our common work very commendable, stressing that green chemistry, which is an innovation in terms of technological development, is fully consistent with Azerbaijani agenda. Speaking about the significance of the concept of green energy, the head of state noted the importance of its application throughout the country, especially in the liberated territories, and said that modern technologies such as smart city and smart village would be applied in these territories.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Aliyev, received in a video format President of the US-based Foundation for Ethnic Understanding, Mark Schneier.
Mark Schneier thanked the head of state for the conditions created in Azerbaijan for the Jewish community, along with representatives of other religious and ethnic communities, emphasizing that the largest Jewish community among Muslim countries lives in Azerbaijan. Mark Schneier held President İlham Aliyev's attention and care for Jews, along with other communities. The head of state described the Jews as valuable citizens of Azerbaijan, saying that they, like representatives of other religious and ethnic communities, have lived in the country for centuries in an atmosphere of kindness, brotherhood and friendship. The sides exchanged views on prospects for Azerbaijan-US relations in the field of intercultural dialogue.
Ambassadors, military attachés and heads of representative offices of international organizations in Azerbaijan visited Cebrail and Zengilan regions liberated from the occupation. Representatives of the diplomatic missions witnessed Armenian vandalism, saw the destructed cemeteries, residential buildings and infrastructure facilities. To be more precise, what was left from them? The next trip of the heads of diplomatic missions, military attachés and heads of representations of international organizations in Azerbaijan to the territories liberated from the occupation was carried out in accordance with the instructions of President İlham Aliyev. The purpose of the trip is to show the diplomats the consequences of the vandalism committed by the Armenian side over the 3 decades in the Azerbaijani territories. French ambassador in Azerbaijan, Zachary Gross, said he came here to honor the memory of all the victims of this war and in the hope of peace and reconciliation. Ambassador of Croatia to Azerbaijan, Branko Zebic, said it was really hard to see this in Jabrayil. It reminded him of what he saw in his home country, Croatia. However, the picture he saw here was even more painful. It is a rather difficult scene to see a destroyed cemetery, and this is what shows us that such events, conflicts, should not exist and we should not face them. Ambassador of Turkey in Azerbaijan, Erkan Ozoral, said he witnessed how the cities, the graves of martyrs and trees were destroyed. What has been done is truly inhumane. This is a very sad situation. God willing, after the great victory of Azerbaijan, those beautiful days will soon return to this land. Everything will be restored here and the refugees will return to their homes. Assistant to the President of Azerbaijan, Hikmet Ajiyev, said he was approached by one of the ambassadors and asked how Armenians could have destroyed everything on this land and built nothing. It was inconceivable. The foreign diplomats first went to the village of Çocuk Mercanlı in Jabrayil region to familiarize themselves with the situation on the spot. Then the delegation went to the city of Jabrayil, where representatives of the diplomatic corps visited the historical monuments, clearly saw how the Khudaferin bridge was damaged as a result of the Armenian occupation. Then they visited Zangilan region, where they got acquainted with the situation in the village of Minjivan. They were provided with comprehensive information about Zangilan. That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us and stay tuned not to miss the next edition of our program.